My name is Wingfield, and I'm a photographer. I've been doing photography since I was 7, and I can vividly remember the first time I took a picture. My dad took me outside in the garden near the side of our house. He handed me his camera and put the camera strap around my neck, and at the time it felt almost heavier than me. He set me loose in the yard and told me to take a picture of whatever I wanted. I walked up to this pink rose bush near the window of my room, and although the picture turned out horrible, I felt an instant connection as soon as I heard the shutter. It amazed me that a piece of technology could capture an instantaneous moment in my life. And from then on, you could physically not get a camera out of my hands. I had this undying urge to photograph anything every single day. I had this undying urge to photograph anything every single day. If I ever missed the opportunity to capture a photo, I felt almost incomplete. I didn't really get into film photography until my senior year of high school. I had always been fascinated with the art form, but I never really got the chance to attempt it. In my basic film photography class, I was introduced to the history of photography, like how it began, how it developed, no pun intended, and who made the art form truly thrive. Photographers like Ansel Adams, Elliott Erwitt, Dorothea Lange, Annie Leibovitz, and so many others inspired me in a way I've never felt before. Seeing their work and their process of making the photographs made me realize that I wanted to do this for the rest of my life. Not as a job, but as a career, something I would gladly do day in and day out. I went to a magnet performing arts school from 6th grade to senior year. Everyone had their thing that everyone knew them for, whether it was dancing or singing, musical theater, being a band geek, writing poetry, you name it. Mine was photography. I wasn't popular by any means, but I was at least known for my passion for photography. I actually really enjoyed high school, but no one else loved photography the way I did. I would be in a conversation with someone and they would mention that they liked taking pictures. My immediate response was to start asking about the camera they used, what their favorite lenses were, who their inspirations were, and what genre of photography they enjoyed. No one ever understood what I was talking about, and I unintentionally made myself an outcast. I started out exploring landscape photography. My dad was always really good at looking at a scene and finding the perfect composition for each shot, so I sort of wanted to follow in his footsteps. But once I started researching different photographers and reading books about photography techniques, I discovered street photography and candid photography. These genres relied on the photographer capturing the moment at the perfect time, which made it so intriguing to me. Being the shy kid that I was, it wasn't until I was around 16 when I delved into portrait photography. My favorite genre would still have to be landscape or street photography, but I like working with people. It's just, I've always been more of an introvert, so it was always easier for me to just be happy in my solitude and being out in nature. After coming to college, I realized just how expensive film photography could be. Photography in general is an expensive hobby, or career in my case, but film photography is a whole other ballpark. But honestly, seeing those images come to life in the print developer makes it all worthwhile. Personally, I like film photography better than digital because you need to make every photo count. You can't just take 1,000 pictures and delete the ones you don't like. With film, you have to really think about each photo you take and ask yourself if it's worth using one of your exposures for. I used to take around 600 to 800 pictures a day, and then I edited them down, but when I realized the importance of each picture, I was able to improve my composition, my lighting techniques, and have a better understanding of my camera. Yes, digital is faster, and it's more efficient, and it's instantaneous, and that's great and all, but in my experience, I felt like I had a deeper understanding of the world with film. That was the big difference for me. I had to actually slow down and really see the world rather than just looking at it. I've always said that photography allows me to show everyone else my perspective. Learning film photography helped me acquire a deeper understanding of life in general. I know that sounds super philosophical and cheesy, but when I forced myself to pay attention to what I was photographing, it made me realize things I didn't understand before. Most people see photography as a hobby, but I've always seen it as my purpose in life. It gave me hope when I thought everything was pointless. It's my own form of therapy. Photography isn't just a hobby or a career to pursue. It's a part of me, and it always has been, and I think it always will be.